Raindrops on today's episode, Reality with the King. It's just the two of us. The boys are back. Dustin Ross is here.
Just the two of us. That's right. Me and
We
Carlos.
make
We
it
can
if
make it
we.
if we try. Okay. And we about to try, which is more than we can say for some people that we watch because Vicky didn't try worth a damn. Let's get into it, Carlos. Let's get into it. I've been waiting on a reason to be able to definitively say that Vicky Gunvalson ain't shit. I got it in this episode, but I'm gonna follow you.
No,
I'm gonna
listen.
ride your wave with this, but I just want you
I
to
love a good
know
ride.
Vicky
Okay.
Gunvalson ain't shit. Just like I said. And I knew this. I had a feeling about this. And I got two examples of why in this episode. So we can continue though. Love the show though.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
Dustin, the beauty of recapping anything with you is it's always unpredictable.
Yeah.
And I never know what to expect because that
Hmm.
I was not expecting, but like you said, let's get into it. So, Raindrops, today we are here to recap the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, the roaring 20th anniversary. Shout out to
Yes.
Bravo, Andy Cohen, everybody involved. To
Yes.
celebrate 20 years of a reality show is unheard of, especially a docu-series. So, shout out to the network, to Andy Cohen. Just to refresh you guys, in case y'all been living under a rock, the cast who are celebrating Dustin, this amazing milestone,
Hmm.
is Vicky. Vicky from OC, Lisa
Yes.
Barlow from Salt Lake City, Portia Diane Williams from Atlanta Housewives, Giselle Kobe Bryant from Potomac, Teresa Giudice from Jersey, last but certainly not least, Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills. So, Dustin, before we get to the recap,
Yeah.
okay, you are not only a reality show historian,
Hmm.
you know the housewives front and back as well.
Hmm.
Now that I named you the 6 women representing this milestone, do you agree with who they chose as the woman to represent each city?
No. No.
Okay.
Just going city by city. Portia, I understand. She's the legacy face of the series. They had already used Cynthia when the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip was already introduced. So Cynthia would have felt a little redundant, I think, to the fans, even though they had already used Portia too. At this time, Portia is the leading legacy full-time cast member on that show. And so her being chosen to represent Atlanta made sense. Giselle being chosen to represent Potomac made sense. Karen is compromised at the moment, and it could have only been Karen or Giselle. So Giselle makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? Even, and that's not, I'm not pitting them against each other, just to be clear, because I would have been fine either way that went had they chosen Karen or Giselle. I'm fine with Giselle being the choice. But it would have been down to the two of them. So it made sense to me. Luann makes sense when it comes from New York. Those ladies, unless they're drinking and riffing around and shit, then there's really nothing there. And Luann has a lot of personality. She also, and it's evidenced by her off-camera real friendships with people like Cynthia. Like, they know Luann. You know what I'm saying? So Luann being chosen, and out of everybody from the New York women, it just makes sense for Luann to be chosen. She's got personality. She fit in. Teresa being chosen for New Jersey, duh. There's literally no other choice. Um, who else? Kyle Richards, duh, for Beverly Hills, the only choice. But Vicky for Orange County, I was surprised at. I was.
Why?
Now, the only reason that her being chosen to represent that franchise made sense to me is because they were the first Housewives series. She was the
Right,
first breakout star of a Housewives franchise. So it made
right.
sense from a legacy perspective. But
Okay.
Tamra would have been a much better choice to me to represent the OC ladies on that trip. I think we would have had more exciting conversations had she been chosen. But we ended up with Vicky, and we got to look at her.
This is going to be a recap for the books. And We have 9 episodes to go through this season, so I already know episode 1 is going to be just the kickoff in terms
Yes.
of this series. So I will say this: I think the elephant in the room, obviously, is the only thing that we all believe. Not to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming you'll agree with this. Is the only one that did not make sense to me, and nothing against Portia, because everyone knows I'm Portia's like man at this point, right? So there's not anything against Portia, but I think we all know that Nene Leakes made the most sense to represent Atlanta. Like, I think we all know that. I think Portia will go on record saying that. Obviously, look, things have happened, not to get into that, but that was the only thing that I was like, okay, it would have been great to have Nene. I think outside of Nene, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this first. Do you agree that if you had to choose, it would be Nene to represent Atlanta?
If Nene had been in continuous good standing with the network and all subsidiaries of it, then yes. But she hasn't been, and it's no secret. So them choosing her to represent an entire franchise that she has a very storied history with wouldn't have made sense to me. I think that we're all speaking from our hearts when we say, damn, it would have been nice to have Nene because it would have felt good. We want to see her do well. And we want to see, that's been part of the fun of being a fan of Nene Leakes, right? From day one, wanting to see her succeed, wanting to see her continuously elevate and celebrating her when she did that. So we would have loved to have seen that, but it doesn't make sense because she has walked away from the franchise, talked horribly about it, all of those things. So seeing her now just turn around and represent it would not have made sense. I do think that it was the right thing to do to have Nene be a part of this series. And I love the fact that the powers that be who make those types of decisions were able to let their good sense usurp their personal grudges with her and re-usher her back into the Bravo universe this way. I think it was the right choice to do it this way, personally.
No, listen, I think so too. And Andy has publicly said that there was no way they could have celebrated this 20th year without her.
But they could do it without Kenya. What does that mean for Kenya, right? I heard Andy say that, and immediately I was like, well, damn, does that mean that y'all had this same conversation? And we're like, well, we can do it without Kenya.
I think what's unfortunate is this. I think the unfortunate thing with the Kenya situation is the Britt Edie lawsuit. I think, my opinion,
right.
As a producer, owner of production company, works with networks. I think, unfortunately, Britt Edie's lawsuit is going to prevent Kenya from being on Bravo until that situation settled. My opinion.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me as a theory. That makes perfect sense and probably is the truth, right? That probably would explain it, because when he phrased it that way, I should say, immediately my mind went to Kenya Moore. Did yours too?
Yes. No, listen, the thing is, for me,
Lisa Vanderpump, Carlos. That's another one. Like, why is she not there?
Well, I do think the difference between Lisa Vanderpump and Kenya is Lisa Vanderpump walked away from the show, did not go to the reunion. She's obviously in good standing with Bravo. She has Vanderpump Rules. It's on a pause right now, but she's in good standing with the network. The thing with Lisa Vanderpump, which is fine, I'm not the one to trip off of anyone's confidence or ego for that matter. Do you?
You think she's bigger than you think she thinks she's bigger than the program, Lowe's?
Oh, D. Ross, ain't no thinking. Vanderpump thinks she is the program. I still don't understand why she's co-hosting the reunion. I'm like, why is she here? Like, why are you even present? Like, I don't need you here anymore. She thinks she's bigger than the show. And I think, unfortunately, she doesn't ever want to acknowledge how that show gave her everything she needed.
Yeah. So, that would explain it.
Yeah. When you saw Nene appear with Portia, what were and just seeing the dynamic before we get to the minutia of it, did you, as a fan of the show, feel like, damn, this woman is back and deserves to be back on television?
I felt happy to see her. I was happy to see her on a screen with that Bravo logo in the corner in modern times. I was happy to see that. I wanted to see her current, fresh, talent on Bravo. And seeing that made me happy. Hearing her and Portia have banter made me happy. We didn't get a mind-blowing sit down